Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Menino and Nareman Hamdan, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm Nareman Hamdan, and welcome to Driven Unscripted Success, where we have special guests that come on and share their personal, professional, and financial success stories with you about how they got started and where they are in their business. So today we have a special guest zooming in all the way from Fort Lauderdale, and I'm here in Naples, so we're so far away. Her name is Juliana VanLaanen, and she has 15 years expertise in business strategy and innovation. So Juliana is the co-founder and CEO of Two Mama Bees, which is an award-winning company that specializes in eco-friendly, high-quality playhouses and children's products. They've won several awards for their products. And I will bring you on, Juliana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So let me start with, I've got a couple questions for you. If you would like to, if you would share with our viewers. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started and what the company's about.
So ironically enough, we started as a small backyard Etsy shop. At the time when we launched Two Mama Bees, I was working corporate America. So really no foreshadowing for where we're at today or the trajectory of how fast we've been able to grow. But there was some steps along the way that kind of really opened our eyes to, wow, this could be a lot bigger than what we had anticipated. But it was very organic. It was a small backyard Etsy shop that I opened with my best friend after a diagnosis of her son being diagnosed with autism. So just a bit of a difficult time in her life where she kind of lost herself and was looking for an outlet to just feel like she had control of something again within the chaos that was therapists in and out. So we started building products primarily for our own homes, and we would throw them up on this Etsy shop, and we were getting great feedback from customers. And within a year of launching, we had just randomly enough painted a playhouse in her backyard, who are now a company, one of our biggest competitors. And without any idea of how we would ship it, how we would pack it, how we would get it to customers, we put it on Etsy and said, a hope and a prayer later, let's see how it goes. And within 1 year, we sold almost 1,000 units.
Wow.
So, wow. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It was incredibly stressful as well. So I quit corporate America and we launched our own brand of products, which launched in October of 2021. And we primarily make playhouses and swing sets, but we focus on children's products.
That's fantastic. So I'm sure there's obviously a lot of competition in your business with other companies making similar products. You know, what sets you apart, and what comes easy to you that others find challenging in this business?
So there is competition, but it's much of the same, if that makes sense. So I think all of our competition source from overseas. All of our competition, it's quick to market and it's what's going to sell fast. So price point is an objective that's always in the forefront of our minds. So finding a way to be competitive with products that are going to last a year compared to ours that are heirloom quality and built to last for 20 years is not always easy. But what sets us apart truly is our craftsmanship. So we're American made by second generation Amish artisans.
That's awesome.
Thank you. We're sourced from domestically managed forests. So also Forest in America. We give back in American forests. So we work with an organization called American Forest, ironically enough, and they help combat climate change and restore American forests. So if somebody, for instance, were to buy one of our rain 2-story playhouses, it takes roughly one tree to build, and we replant 10. and so on and so forth throughout all of our products. So we really tried to, fully loop it, vertically integrate, if you will, so that everything was being given back to the exact same forest and agriculture. So there's a ton of points that set us apart. We also focus a lot more on STEM development with children because of my business partner's son with autism. We work directly with occupational therapists and industry experts, play therapists, and speech therapists to find ways to integrate sensory play into all of our products so that really they encompass the whole family, right? So children of all abilities can engage in play, and parents as well. So our smallest playhouse, our Augeray, sits almost 6 feet tall inside, so parents can comfortably play as well.
That's great.
Those are just a couple of our touch points. Just like our competitors usually sit about 3 feet tall inside. So there's a difference right there.
Yeah. I mean, sorry to hear about your friend's challenge, with her child having autism, which I'm sure I couldn't even imagine how tough that is. But how great that you both came together and, found just a way to help that challenge, and to help others with it from like personal experience, and coming up with these products that will make it easier, with teaching your child in handling the challenges that come with autism. So that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the big things that we saw in, like you said, life experience. So between myself and Samantha, my business partner, we have 8 children.
Wow.
Yes. My oldest is 18. Her youngest is 2. So we have a full spectrum of children. But what we saw with the therapist in and out of her house for 6 hours a day is that they would come in and they work with the children. It's incredible what they're able to do and how far her son has come from being completely nonverbal to now he's actually spending 2 hours a day in a standardized classroom. So that is how far he's been able to come with, but that's a lot of sacrifice as well, having therapists in and out of your house for all hours of the day, sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day, even on the weekends. And when they would leave, they would take a lot of the materials with them. So what happened is she was like, where do they parent my children? Where does that stop? And where do I start as his mom? Like, that was frustrating. So one thing that we really try to focus on is finding ways to incorporate sensory play into our products so that they can be a standalone unit in the home. So the therapist can come in and play and utilize that for therapy. And then the parent can come in the back end and also utilize that for therapy as well with their child to help them bridge that gap between I'm also incorporated in the development of my child, right? Because as a mom, and as a dad, as any parent, I mean, it's just ingrained in you to be the one that does it all for them. So that's a control thing that's very hard to give up, I think, for any parent, is to say, okay, you're doing it all now, but what about me? Where do I fit in this role? So all of our products are named after our own children. We have yet to launch our Makai. It'll be launching, that is her son, sorry.
Okay.
Diagnosed with autism. So we're working directly we have a team, a phenomenal team of occupational therapists, play therapists, and speech therapists that are helping us design this product that will be a swing set utilized indoor or outdoor. And it will have just a plethora of sensory features so that this could be kind of like the one-stop hub for parents whose children are on the spectrum. They can put it in the house, and then the therapist can actually train the parents as well how to help incorporate that play into their children's lives. So, and a percentage of the proceeds will go to Autism Speaks.
Oh, that's awesome. Gosh, is that awesome. So with all this going on, how do you encourage your team to think outside the box and bring new ideas to the table? Continue doing this.
I think you really have to start with having a team that was empowered when they came through the door. So I think that's a huge focus when you're at the top, if you will. I hate saying that, but as a leader, I think I always just try to empower them to bring their ideas, to cultivate new ideas by making sure that they're staying abreast on industry trends. So we do a ton of market research within our industry. Every single design from conception to completion takes a good 6 months, because we'll look at the product, we'll say, okay, we like this feature, but what if we did this better? What if we adjusted this? I could give you an example. So our Aviana Gourmet Play Kitchen, when we originally built the kitchen, it had, which no other play kitchen on the market had it at the time, but it actually has like a kitchen island that's connected, if you will, so that play could be engaging for the entire family. That's something that we're always thinking about with every design of our product. And when it's just a little standalone kitchen, parents can't really engage in the play. So we built this kitchen island. Originally, it jetted out like an island. And then we said, what if it was able to go down when it's not in play? Helps with motor development, technically. Yeah. And then as well, it's just a safe space saving for parents.
Right.
And we went even further where it has like a little menu chalkboard, but the menu chalkboard has built-in magnets so kids can actually draw, and then it magnetizes to the inside of the see-through oven so it looks like what they're cooking. So it's just constantly trying to rise above what the other competition is doing. I can't tell you how many times I've bought our competitors' pieces just to take them apart and look at them. Set them up in our houses. I mean, we have 8 kids. There's our test facility right there.
Right.
We say, play with them. And then we sit back and we watch and we see what elements are they most engaged in? What elements did they not really even pay attention to? And how can we better equip this model so that the entire family could be more engaged in the play? And really, I think our team is phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about them, and they're confident, they're outspoken. I love it.
That's fantastic.
That, right? I think when you check your ego at the door and allow people to do and partake in the roles that you hired them to do, that's when you're truly going to find excellence in your team, because you're actually allowing them to do what they're supposed to be doing instead of trying to like put the lid on them. So
right, micromanage them. So it's you give them the opportunity to share their creative ideas and actually make them happen. It's an opportunity, which is, I mean, why you're so successful and have so many great products. So that's awesome. So with you saying there's 8 kids total, I mean, that's like a full contact sport.
It is.
I agree. So I couldn't imagine with 8. So, I mean, I always say to everyone, because I have 3 kids, 3 or more kids is basically a blender without the top on. It's just, it's all over. So what does a day in your life look like, and how do you juggle work and everything else? So, man, going on.
Well, you have 3. I have 3 as well. So every day is different. I'm on the road quite a bit now. And I run other businesses as well because chaos. I just love it. I must. Samantha has 5, so she has the bulk of the kids in the 8. But every day it's different. And I always try to say, the buzzword is balance. Find your balance and your boundaries. And I'm just like, that buzzword it doesn't work for me. It doesn't at all. Like, everything comes, for me, the way I look at it is everything comes in a season, right? So the season of my life right now is chaos, and organized chaos is very important to me. Yeah. So, my schedule is mapped out. I look at it the night before and I know what to anticipate. And there we go,
That's awesome.
I'm sure you do know, when you're a mom, you just get things done, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. And you got to be organized and just follow that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, inevitably it's going to be a bunch of curveballs coming in at you, but
yeah. Like this week, I'll give you an example. So tomorrow night, we have an awards show in Fort Lauderdale. Then we have to drive to St. Pete. We won't get into St. Pete until 12 a.m. And we have a have to be on set at 7 a.m. for a call time for a TV show that will film until 4 p.m.
Oh,
then
wow.
we have a red eye to New York that night
Good
for a
God.
short show the very next day. And then we leave at 5 a.m. from New York the next morning to get home because Samantha's daughter has a soccer tournament.
Oh my God.
Or soccer game.
Yeah, that's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
God.
So people are like, balance. Do you find there is no balance. It's just chaos. And this is where our lives are right now. You know, like
Right.
I love it all. Like I love what I do for work. I think that's also really important. If I hated it, like if I hated my career, if I hated what I was doing, I wouldn't want to find a way to make it all work. But I love everything I'm doing. I love watching my kids and all their activities and participating in it. I think I'm going to miss that so much once, you know, my oldest is getting ready to go off to college and I'm like having such a hard time with it because it's just, you know, it's all consuming like every sport activity and it's so fun, but it's not forever, you know.
Right.
It has its season in your life and then the next seasons come into play. And so just embracing it while it's there and understanding that retirement is, you know, a one-day thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. So what's one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in your career?
So I would say probably the biggest challenge that we faced was really aligning our brand with what our core brand promises were. And anybody that comes and asks me, like, how have you guys really grown and scaled the way you have in such a short period of time? Because we're in big box in under 2 years, which is pretty much unheard of, especially in our industry. And like you said, the toy market is saturated. That is for sure. There are a lot of players in our business. And what really comes down to is that we set out what our core brand promises were. And then at first we didn't stick to them. So we had our first run of playhouses we sourced from overseas. Great lesson. I'm not disappointed or mad. I have no regrets about doing it because I think it is important that I understand how that process works. And, you know, you can learn something in a classroom and it is nothing like doing it in real life. So, but we then looking at that in year one, even though we liked the products, what were we doing that was so much different than all of our competitors? We were kind of just reinventing the wheel, just like they already had 15 times, and we just made it prettier. So we took all of our manufacturing and brought it back to America in year one, which probably could have bankrupted us and probably would have bankrupted a lot of companies. It didn't bankrupt us, thank goodness. And it was the best decision that we've ever made. It's one that really has helped us scale and now it's authentic. So I can have conversations like this. And I don't think that I could sit here and lie about what I was doing all day. That would be difficult. I think that the reason people resonate with our brand so much is because it's so genuine and authentic. And the reason it is because we really are doing exactly what we set out to do. We really are creating products in a brand that we can wholeheartedly stand behind and know that when you receive the product, it is going to be the most quality, furniture grade toy product that you've ever seen. They are stunningly beautiful in person. The quality is there's nothing that I could say on this call that would genuinely make up for what you see when you see the product in person. Our range 2-story playhouse weighs 535 pounds. Our competitors across the board, even their larger swing sets of the same size, weigh 250 pounds. That's just quality of the product alone. Yeah. So how do you say that? How do you put that into words better that you see it in person? So genuinely, I think building something that's authentic to who you are, and that probably really set that stage by encompassing what your goals, your primary goals are, and what your core brand promises are. So, it was a misstep that really has paid off tenfold.
That's fantastic. And not to mention, it's a personal, it started off personal for you guys, like you had a reason and purpose for creating it. So it makes it that much more authentic and then you figured out how to, you tried getting it from overseas, but then you figured, you figured out how to create it here in the US, which provides jobs for people here in the US. And then it's Amish craftsmanship and it's from the forest here. I mean, it sounds like an amazing product. So yeah, and that's fantastic. So let me ask you, so it sounds like, things are going well for you and your business, your partner and family. Are you, as you're looking towards the future, I was wondering if you have, how you create any like passive income, or if you have invested in the past.
I do. So I own a few high-end Airbnbs.
Okay.
So actually when we launched our own brand of playhouses, so October of 2021, I knew there was going to be a big gap there. I had been working in corporate America prior and, I had a nice salary. It was a great life. And, I kind of rolled the dice with this one. When I walked away, they were like, "Are you insane?" I was the president of a global transportation technology company at the time. And a part of it felt very insane, especially being a mom with 3 kids that were dependent on me. But I think for me, finding a way to build some passive income, and I would say I could talk about Airbnbs as much as I could probably talk about 2 Mama Bees because it is not only passive, but if you do it the right way, it is very lucrative.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I also own a VA and a BPO company, which that I started more recently than not, but with the money that I was able to generate from the Airbnbs. And if you do it the right way with Airbnbs, they kind of build upon themselves. You can pull a line of credit from one to buy another one and then continue that process until you feel overwhelmed.
Right. How many Airbnbs do you own?
Just 3.
Okay. And is it single families or are they multi-units?
No, all single families, but they're high end. So think like indoor pools.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're in the Midwest. One's on Lake Michigan and it's like an acre built out. So it has a pool, it has a basketball court, it has a boathouse, it has a gym, it has a theater. They're all very much the same, but you have to do your due diligence, make sure that you understand the state laws, make sure you understand what your county ordinances are. It's more passive once you've done all the research and made sure that you're buying in the right location. Otherwise it could be really
for sure
not passive and it could be really bad for you.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with Lake Michigan. I'm originally from Michigan, so.
Oh, okay. I'm originally from Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the pond.
Yep. Again.
So as we're wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works for the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. So yesterday we had a very good call with a Canadian distributor. So that is very exciting. It's been something that's kind of been on our agenda for the last 6 months or so, just finding the right team to align ourselves with. So actually when I wrap up this call, I have a call regarding that. And then we just launched with Sam's Club. And again, I can't stress enough that seeing the products in person is really what sells them, and people understand that you can watch your kids play on it. And then one day you'll be able to watch your grandchildren play on the same piece of toy furniture, if you will. And so Sam's Club, really all members own Sam's Club Costco. That's been a huge driving force behind like where we want our sales team focused on. So it's been wonderful. And we're excited to see all of our products set up in Sam's Club's location across the US.
That's fantastic. Good for you. How exciting.
Thank you.
So good. So, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing some of your insights and tips with us. So if people wanted to connect with you, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, across all social media platforms, it's 2mamabees.com. So the 2 Mama, MAMA, AAES, again, at 2mamabees or www.2mamabees.com. And you can email direct. I'm usually the one who filters through and answers them, or even slide into our DMs. answers those too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.